The peak efficiency of knowledge and strategy is to make conflict unnecessary. When something ought to be true, then it proves to be a very powerful truth. Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. Success to me is being happy, truly fulfilled, being proud of myself, and doing different things all the time. The absence of the will to live is, alas, not sufficient to make one want to die.
To be wealthy and honored in an unjust society is a disgrace.
It's a sad day when you find out that it's not accident or time or fortune, but just yourself that kept things from you. When seeing the simple truth means recognizing that we're in sin, we would rather see things as being complicated.
Success is getting what you want. Happiness is wanting what you get.
If you're going to burn a bridge behind you, make sure you've crossed it first. Always be open to inspiration. You never know where it may come from. Begin with an open mind, end with an inspired heart.
Truth is what your contemporaries let you get away with.
I lie to myself all the time, but I never believe me.
Knowledge is merely brilliance in organization of ideas and not wisdom. The truly wise person goes beyond knowledge.
In short, philosophical theories are largely the product of the hidden hand of the cognitive unconscious. The healing man left me a wee bit broken so I could understand. I just want to teach people how to be comfortable. Stop being so scared. Always remember people who have helped you along the way, and don't forget to lift someone up.
People say that life is the thing, but I prefer reading. How quick come the reasons for approving what we like.
To avoid disappointment, expect nothing from nobody.
When you walk in silence, your excellence will always speak for you.
Success or failure in business is caused more by mental attitude even than by mental capabilities. Feeling beautiful has nothing to do with what you look like. Promise.
A kind gesture can reach a wound that only compassion can heal. The truth isn't always beauty, but the hunger for it is.
Control your thoughts, or your thoughts will control. This is a wonderful day. I have never seen this one before. Keep it private until it's permanent. The only true borders lie between day and night, between life and death, between hope and loss. Knowing is not enough, we must apply. Willing is not enough, we must do. What we achieve inwardly will change outer reality.
The better organized the state, the duller its humanity.
Aim for the moon. If you miss, you may hit a star. I never want to change so much that people can't recognize me.
Maybe everyone is just waiting for someone else to save them.
The greatest thing in the world is to know how to belong to oneself.
There is nothing frightening in the dark if you just face it. No one else has ever opened doors for me. I opened them myself. They can't tell so much about you if you got your eyes closed. Être dans le ventre, c'est avoir le destin des feuilles mortes.
Success will be within your reach, only when you start reaching out for it. Leaving your religion and having to invent your own system of values is a big deal after all. The only man who never makes mistakes is the man who never does anything.
We are willing to believe anything other than the truth. In the end, you have to choose whether or not to trust someone. If the enemy has occupied them before you, do not follow him, but retreat and try to entice him away. If water derives lucidity from stillness, how much more the faculties of the mind.
Don't get burned twice by the same flame. You can never cross the ocean until you have the courage to lose sight of the shore.
What keeps life fascinating is the constant creativity of the soul.
Who we are in the present includes who we were in the past.
When you lose your smile, you lose your way in the chaos of life. Truth often sacrificed for the sake of stability and peace. Many things that don't really mean so much of anything are wonderful. Procrastination makes easy things hard and hard things harder. Small circle, private life, and peaceful mind.
A lie can travel halfway around the world, while the truth is putting on its shoes. I don't walk away from things I think are unfinished. Don't own so much clutter that you will be relieved to see your house catch fire.
A ship is always safe at shore, but that is not what it's built for.
Don't be afraid of your fears. They're not there to scare you. They're there to let you know something is worth it. It's as simple as that, simple and complicated as most true things are.
Glory resides in the hearts of those you inspire, not in fleeting moments of fame. They don't actually want you to do your own thing, not unless it's their thing too.
There were many terrible things in my life, and most of them never happened.
We all have two lives. The second one starts when we realize that we only have one.
Of all knowledge, the wise and good seek mostly to know themselves. For truth is always strange, stranger than fiction. Only a life lived for others is a life worthwhile.
Always stand up for truth, regardless of who steps on it. I speak gibberish to the civilized world, and it replies in kind.
Einstein said that insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. Positive anything is better than negative nothing. Though the road's been rocky, it sure feels good to me. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Take note of how people treat you after you say no to their demands. An unbreakable mask and cunning are the keys for executing a plan flawlessly.
Knowledge of the enemy's dispositions can only be obtained from other men.
If you have not done things worthy of being written about, at least write things worthy of being read.
The truth will set you free, but not until it is finished with you.
Be the kind of person who catches the shit before it hits the fan, not the one who scrapes it off afterwards.
The most dangerous of all falsehoods is a slightly distorted truth. If everything seems under control, you're not going fast enough.
I'm not afraid of dying, I'm afraid of not trying. What saves a man is to take a step, then another step.
A whetstone, though it cannot cut, may sharpen a knife that will. Weakness of attitude becomes weakness of character. Art should comfort the disturbed and disturb the comfortable.
The only thing standing between you and your dreams is reluctance. Don't go on discussing what a good person should be. Just be one. It is during our failures that we discover our true desire for success. Leaders must be close enough to relate to others, but far enough ahead to motivate them.
Not all things that fall down break. Some develop wings.
There can be glory in failure and despair in success.
Time bows to authentic commitment, and it stretches to accommodate it. He who knows his enemy and himself well will not be defeated easily.
Nothing is necessitated whose opposite is possible.
Be grateful for what you already have while you pursue your goals. Sometimes life is too hard to be alone, and sometimes life is too good to be alone. It's hard not to feel happy when you make someone smile.
Great achievement is usually born of great sacrifice and is never the result of selfishness. Wisdom comes from experience. Experience is often a result of lack of wisdom. Beliefs are choices. First you choose your beliefs, then your beliefs affect your choices. The summit of happiness is reached when a person is ready to be what he is. Being human is not hard because you're doing it wrong. It's hard because you're doing it right.
What the caterpillar calls the end, the rest of the world calls a butterfly. Time is precious, but truth is more precious than time. Life is 10% what you make it, and 90% how you take it.
The worst part of success is trying to find someone who is happy for you.
Life is fragile. We're not guaranteed a tomorrow, so give it everything you've got.
If you live for people's acceptance, you will die from their rejection. Always find opportunities to make someone smile and to offer random acts of kindness in everyday life. Without causality in the world, there is no point in educating people or making any moral or political appeal.
If you're treated like a puppet, find a new ball of string.
Getting something and having the wits to use it. Those are two different things. Power does not corrupt. Fear corrupts, perhaps the fear of a loss of power. Life is a journey that necessitates progress. Keep moving, because each step brings you closer to your goals.
I only want to write, and there's no college for that, except life.
An intelligent man is one who acknowledges his intelligence as that of those who surround him. If your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader. It's easy to talk big, but the important thing is whether or not you clean up the shit.
Sometimes you recognize truth because it destroys you for a bit.
Be sure what you want and be sure about yourself. 1,000 words leave not the same deep impression as does a single deed. Concern yourself not with what you tried and failed in, but with what is still possible to do.
You are never too old to set another goal or to dream a new dream.
Whosoever desires constant success must change his conduct with the times. You are already in the territory of the flowers. It's only a matter of time before you bloom. Life is a waste of time, and time is a waste of life. So let's all get wasted and have the time of our lives.
I wouldn't have missed a single minute of it, not for the whole world. Falling down is an accident. Staying down is a choice.
Do not fear to be eccentric in opinion, for every opinion now accepted was once eccentric.
Wisdom comes not from age, but from education and learning.
Kindness is not a business. True kindness expects nothing in return and should never act with conditions. Now and then it's good to pause in our pursuit of happiness and just be happy.
You talk when you cease to be at peace with your thoughts.
Good people are good because they've come to wisdom through failure. We get very little wisdom from success, you know.
The search for truth is more precious than its possession.
It is life, I think, to watch the water. A man can learn so many things. You may lie with your mouth, but with the mouth you make as you do, so you nonetheless tell the truth.
Transmit the established facts. Do not transmit words of exaggeration. If you do that, you will probably come out all right. Manifest plainness, embrace simplicity, reduce selfishness, have few desires.
When all is said and done, all anyone has left is their integrity at their core. Don't give that away too. We testify of what we have experienced and witnessed. May our testimony inspire others to share their story. The quest for meaning is the key to mental health and human flourishing.
I know the joy of fishes in the river through my own joy as I go walking along the same river.
Difficulties increase the nearer we get to the goal.
When the going gets weird, the weird turn professional. You become mature when you become the authority of your own life.
Rock and roll is not red carpets and MySpace friends. Rock and roll is dangerous and should piss people off. Temperament is just an elite perception of who you seem to be right now, not who you will ever be. It's a sad day for American capitalism when a man can't fly a midget on a kite over Central Park.
The truths that matter most to us come always half-spoken. He who requires much from himself and little from others will keep himself from being the object of resentment. A frog in a well cannot conceive of the ocean. In fact, the truth cannot be communicated until it is perceived.
Facts do not cease to exist because they are ignored. To use your head, you have to go out of your mind. We never realize just how many other lives we can help when their paths cross our own. If you have no confidence in self, you are twice defeated in the race of life. Those who would wage war should first eliminate all domestic enemies before proceeding to attack the external foe. But this wealth of information produced little or no insight. Not everything can be counted counts, and not everything that counts can be counted. Talent wins games, but teamwork and intelligence win championships. The important thing is not to stop questioning. Curiosity has its own reason for existing.
What cannot be said, above all, must not be silenced, but written.
Be proud. You survived the days you thought you couldn't. Who belonged to no one, who belonged to everyone, who had nothing, who wanted everything.
When a wise man points at the moon, the imbecile examines the finger.
We cannot go far in life if we only take the path that everyone is taking.
The road to success is dotted with many tempting parking spaces.
And when you want something, all the universe conspires in helping you to achieve it. It's not enough knowing that you can walk on water, Peter. You have to get out of the boat.
When you procrastinate, you become a slave to yesterday.
When life doesn't meet your expectations, it was important to take it with grace.
Prioritize your physical and mental health. They are your most valuable assets. What is to be, will be, and no prayers of ours can arrest the decree.
Try telling the truth for a whole week, and just see how much trouble you get in.
Only one who devotes himself to a cause with his whole strength and soul can be a true master. For this reason, mastery demands all of a person.
When you're screwing up and nobody says anything to you anymore, that means they've given up on you. The smallest act of kindness makes you more beautiful than any expensive dress or makeup.
You will never know how high you can climb until you reach the top.
That which can be destroyed by the truth should be. Anger exceeding limits causes fear, and excessive kindness eliminates respect. Every adversity, Every failure, every heartache carries with it the seed of an equal or greater benefit. It is not as much about who you used to be as it is about who you choose to be.
All wars are won or lost before they are ever fought.
My feet are shaking, but I'll do whatever it takes to take a step forward. One day, all those late nights and early mornings will pay off. Swords can win territories but not hearts. Forces can bend heads but not minds.
Success is defined in units of fun. It's all about being happy.
Sometimes change was good. Sometimes it was even exactly what you needed. When the pain of staying is greater than the pain of leaving, you know it's time to make a change.
Treat your men as you would your own beloved sons, and they will follow you into the deepest valley.
It is foolish to tear one's hair in grief, as though sorrow would be made less by baldness. Actions defined a man. Words were a fart in the wind. If so few female geniuses are found in history, it is because society denies them any means of expression.
Everyone's greatest fantasy is to walk away from the life you lead.
Humor is what happens when we're told the truth quicker and more directly than we're used to. They blossomed. They did not talk about blossoming.
When people try to bury you, remind yourself you are a seed. Everything that is done in this world is done by hope.
Attaining recognition is an individual journey. It cannot be bestowed upon us by others.
Between living and dreaming, there is a third thing. Guess it.
I just want someone to hear what I have to say, and maybe if I talk long enough, it'll make sense. The problem with people is they forget that most of the time, it's the small things that count. You must do the things you think you cannot do. If you cannot find an element of humor in something, you're not taking it seriously enough. I'm hungry for a juicy life. I lean out my window at night, and I can taste it out there, just waiting for me. It's your life. You don't need someone's permission to live the life you want. Be brave to live from your heart.
Pretend inferiority and encourage his arrogance.
You can always look up to others for inspiration, but never for comparison.
To become a lifelong reader, one has to do a lot of varied and interesting reading.
Even a blind man knows when the sun is shining. We believe in ordinary acts of bravery, in the courage that drives one person to stand up for another. I ask not for any crown but that which all may win, nor try to conquer any world, except the one within.
Understanding that rests in what it does not understand is the finest. Truth is a straight line you sometimes need to curve. You should know that by now.
Most of us have the good or bad fortune of seeing our lives fall apart so slowly we barely notice.
Set the troops to their tasks without imparting your designs.
We can never judge the lives of others, because each person knows only their own pain and renunciation.
One who is too insistent on his own views finds few to agree with him.
With an eye made quiet by the power of harmony and the deep power of joy, we see into the life of things. I am afraid, not of life or death or nothingness, but of wasting it as if I had never been. Much of what was said did not matter, and that much of what mattered could not be said. The whole secret of a successful life is to find out what is one's destiny to and then do it. Success in life is not for those who run fast, but for those who keep running and always on the move. Fear tends to come from ignorance. Once I knew what the problem was, it was just a problem. Nothing to fear. You only fail when you stop trying. Rejection should be a means of improvement and not a way to feel dejected.
Power is not revealed by striking hard or often, but by striking true. When you treat your failures as lessons, you can never fail.
The seeker embarks on a journey to find what he wants and discovers along the way what he needs. If there is no struggle, there is no progress. The healing starts at the mountain, but you need the river to wash the pain away.
Appear at points which the enemy must hasten to defend. March swiftly to places where you are not expected. When you are content to be simply yourself and don't compare or compete, everyone will respect you.
What a bright sunny day, and I don't know what to say.
The eye sees only what the mind is prepared to comprehend.
The sky is the limit. For some people, aim higher. Nothing is impossible.
If everyone wants to be somebody, I want to be somebody else.
Learn from your past, use the possibilities of the present moment, and let the future open the doors of opportunity. If you possess enough courage to speak out what you are, you will find that you are not alone. The more you try to please people, the more they get control of you, and you'll end up hurting yourself. People don't realize how a man's whole life can be changed by one book. The man who alters his way of thinking to suit others is a fool. The windows of my soul I throw wide open to the sun.
If you are far from the enemy, make him believe you are near.
Whenever I hear anyone arguing for slavery, I feel a strong impulse to see it tried on him personally. We choose our joys and sorrows long before we experience them.
You ask me if I keep a notebook to record my great ideas. I've only ever had one. Man doesn't know what he is capable of until he is asked.
All I am is literature, and I'm not able or willing to be anything else. I was always looking outside myself for strength and confidence, but it comes from within. It is there all the time. The good which every man who follows after virtue desires for himself, he will also desire for other men.
No one from the outside can tell or show you what is in your heart. What the superior man seeks is in himself. What the small man seeks is in others. But if a villain can be made, then they can be unmade. If you make a mistake and do not correct it, this is called a mistake.
Shallow men believe in luck or in circumstance. Strong men believe in cause and effect. The future is something which everyone reaches at the rate of 60 minutes an hour. Whatever he does, whoever he is. You can't find someone who doesn't want to be found.
When I get sad, I stop being sad and be awesome instead.
Imagining that you are deep and complex, but others are simple, is one of the primary signs of malignant selfishness.
One day you will wake up, and there won't be any more time to do the things you've always wanted. Do it now.
But I do know which is the least popular. The truth. You'll never find a rainbow if you're looking down.
Our fingerprints don't fade from the lives we've touched. In your own life, it's important to know how spectacular you are. Here, in this quiet place we own, worlds are born. Run the voodoo down. Be not afraid of going slowly. Be afraid only of standing still.
With the truth, all given facts harmonize, but with what is false, the truth soon hits a wrong note. Life's like a movie. Write your own ending. Keep believing, keep pretending.
If you want to see a rainbow, you have to learn to see the rain. Cherish that which is in you, and shut out that which is without, for much knowledge is a curse.
We take greater pains to persuade others that we are happy than in endeavoring to think so ourselves. Every passion borders on the chaotic, but the collector's passion borders on the chaos of memories.
Life is short. Live it. Love is rare. Grab it. Anger is bad. Dump it. Fear is awful. Face it. Memories are sweet. Cherish them.
There are no bad words, bad thoughts, bad intentions, and words. Art and life are subjective. Not everybody's going to dig what I dig, but I reserve the right to dig it. My motto is that you can't always control what happens to you in life, but you can control your reaction. We had the experience but missed the meaning. An approach to the meaning restores the experience in a different form.
When truth is replaced by silence, the silence is a lie.
Not everyone is fight-able. Be careful of who you fight. A strange thing, words. Once they're said, it's hard to imagine they're untrue. Before you embark on a journey of revenge, dig 2 graves. If you care about what you do and work hard at it, there isn't anything you can't do if you want to. Some people are like clouds. When they disappear, it's a beautiful day.
Gratitude is best refined through the fires of adversity. The truth is not always beautiful, nor beautiful words the truth.
Ah, nothing is too late, till the tired heart shall cease to palpitate. There's nothing wrong with stretching the truth. We stretch taffy, and that just makes it more delicious. Sometimes letting go is simply changing the labels you place on an event. Looking at the same event with fresh eyes.
True goodness springs from a man's own heart. All men are born good. Perhaps home is not a place, but simply an irrevocable condition.
Success always hugs you in private, but failure slaps you in the public. It is a shame for a man to grow old without seeing the beauty and strength of which his body is capable.
Nothing can be more hurtful to your heart than betraying yourself.
Change happens when the pain of staying the same is greater than the pain of change. Wanting him to come back before anyone notices part of the world has not moved since he left. You must learn to let go. Release the stress. You were never in control anyway. Time throws you out of its dimensionless planar like a boomerang. It unites with you again in death. Don't always wish to be like others. Always aspire to be better than them. Don't wring your hands over the loss of the past. Steady your hands for the adventure of the future.
If you want to dine with perfection, you must toil with imperfection.
Give it your all, because greatness awaits those who rise to the occasion with unwavering determination.
Remember to be kind with your words, especially to yourself.
When men are pure, laws are useless. When men are corrupt, laws are broken. Do your best and trust the process. If you can convince people that freedom is injustice, they will then believe that slavery is freedom.
All paths are present, always, and we can but choose among them.
Stay away from those who want you to be in the same predicament as them.
With regard to narrow passes, if you can occupy them first, let them be strongly garrisoned and await the advent of the enemy.
Courage is living by the free will that one creates for themselves, not the life of monotony determined by another.
Peace proposals unaccompanied by a sworn covenant indicate a plot.
Your ultimate competition is you and within. Compete against yourself and you will always win. We have no right to express an opinion until we know all of the answers. Every existing thing is born without reason, prolongs itself out of weakness, and dies by chance.
Don't let the fear of losing them keep you from loving them.
The beautiful thing about learning is that nobody can take it away from you.
The penalty for procrastination is the loss of hopes and dreams.
Common sense, in an uncommon degree, is what the world calls wisdom. You don't need more time. You need less distractions. The essence of life does not consist in the lushness of your possession, but in the richness of your heart. What would come, and you would have to meet it when it did.
Just be real. It saves everyone's time. And when all the wars are over, a butterfly will still be beautiful.
It is not the mountain we conquer, but ourselves. Listening stops with the ears, the mind stops with recognition, but spirit is empty and waits on all things.
Reason is, and ought only to be the slave of the passions. I do not believe in taking the right decision. I take a decision and make it right. The truth will set you free, but first it will piss you off.
There's only one day at a time here. Then it's tonight, and then tomorrow will be today again. Being liked for the way you looked is worse than not being liked at all.
Not knowing you can't do something is sometimes all it takes to do it.
As we go through life, we gradually discover who we are. The more we discover, the more we lose ourselves.
A kingdom that has once been destroyed can never come again into being, nor can the dead ever be brought back to life.
Nobody will save you, some can't even save themselves. You should expect mistakes in your life. Mistakes are expected, inspected, and respected.
Consideration for others is the basis of a good life, a good society.
That truth should be silent. I had almost forgot. Until justice rolls down like water, and righteousness like a mighty stream.
When you are ignorant of the enemy, but know yourself, your chances of winning or losing are equal. I is for integrity. Be honest with yourself and others.
Life is magical for those whose hearts are loving, minds are full with joy, and eyes that are dancing with beauty. The truth always carries the ambiguity of the words used to express it.
When you know what you want, and you want it bad enough, you'll find a way to get it.
Sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. Intelligence alone is not nearly enough when it comes to acting wisely. When I was born, the doctor slit my throat to see if I could talk. But memory is like plaster. Peel it back, and you just might find a completely different picture. The truth is not for all men, but only for those who seek it. No matter what happened yesterday, it is insignificant when compared to what lies within the core of your being today. Anyone can hide. Facing up to things, working through them, that's what makes you strong. When a person can't find a deep sense of meaning, they distract themselves with pleasure.
The spirit tower has its guardian, but unless it understands who its guardian is, it cannot be guarded.
A man, though wise, should never be ashamed of learning more, and must unbend his mind. We are here to be family to one another, to exist for the sake of others, even as others exist for our sake.
Never tell the truth to people who are not worthy of it.
I'm sure the universe is full of intelligent life. It's just been too intelligent to come here. Life takes a bit of time and a lot of relationship. You can go your whole life collecting days, and none will outweigh the one you wish you had back. In the end, all men die. How you lived will be far more important to the Almighty than what you accomplished.
Keep a little fire burning, however small, however hidden. Do not look for healing at the feet of those who broke you.
You will never be able to escape from your heart, so it's better to listen to what it has to say.
If tomorrow were never to come, it would not be worth living today.
When you have eliminated all which is impossible, then whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth.
I do not like to repeat successes. I like to go on to other things. If it keeps you happy, keep it quiet.
All human beings should try to learn before they die what they are running from, and to, and why. Things come apart so easily when they have been held together with lies. Success is a little like wrestling a gorilla. You don't quit when you're tired. You quit when the gorilla is tired. Life gives us choices. You either grab on with both hands and just go for it, or you sit on the sideline. Charity, like the sun, brightens every object on which it shines.
Judge your success by what you had to give up in order to get it.
Life is too short or too long for me to allow myself the luxury of living it so badly.
I don't want life to imitate art. I want life to be art. If truth doesn't set you free, generosity of spirit will. By nature, men are nearly alike. By practice, they get to be wide apart. Everything should be made as simple as possible, but not simpler.
Discussion is impossible with someone who claims not to seek the truth, but already to possess it. You will never follow your own inner voice until you clear up the doubts in your mind.
The company you choose to keep says a lot about who you are.
A picture may be worth 1,000 words, but just a few of the right words can paint 1,000 pictures.
Faith is a knowledge within the heart, beyond the reach of proof. Wake up with determination. Go to bed with satisfaction.
Truth will always be truth, regardless of lack of understanding, disbelief, or ignorance. Like a running blaze on a plain, like a flash of lightning in the clouds, we live in the flicker. Don't have hope that the situation will be better. Have hope that your Savior will be nearer. All the world's a stage, and most of us are desperately unrehearsed.
In business, professionalism is not a tactic, but a moral value. Life is a full circle, widening until it joins the circle motions of the infinite.
The most incomprehensible thing about the world is that it is comprehensible. Too many of us are not living our dreams, because we are living our fears.
Beyond the fiction of reality, there is the reality of the fiction.
In a very real sense, we have two minds, one that thinks and one that feels. Before I can tell my life what I want to do with it, I must listen to my life telling me who I am.
It's not whether you get knocked down, it's whether you get up.